stunk again in yet another NFC Championship game. He had a QBR of 33. He had two interceptions and I think he lost 2 fumbles in that game. So I think he had 4 total turnovers. QBR of 33 on a scale of 0 to 100. So that was his worst QBR of his playoff career. And again, his stats had fallen in QBR and completion percentage for 5 straight seasons. They had declined down to that. And I'm going to read this one more time because it's your favorite website, Pro Football Focus, just to get us back in the moment ahead of that draft that we were all in then, that we've all forgotten about now. And the moment was that Pro Football Focus did not include Aaron Rodgers in its top 50 players. And it wrote, Rodgers has become ever more evidently part of the problem in Green Bay, and his own team spent the offseason laying plans to minimize his role in 2020 and replace him beyond that. Rodgers finished the regular season as the number 9 ranked quarterback, but over the last 8 weeks of the season, he ranked just 17th. Okay. I can argue that taking Jordan Love was the greatest thing they ever did for Aaron. It's even better than adding receivers because did it not relight his fire? Did it not get his attention? Did he not respond with an MVP season?
So I can say what Coach Belichick and them do it by Tom Brady by not re-signing him, relit the fire under Tom. Because remember his last game? You remember how he played down the stretch? Do you remember he didn't go as far as Aaron Rodgers? Aaron went to the NFC Championship game. Your guy lost in the wild card round.
Okay,
remember that?
But your guy, Aaron Rodgers, had a top 2 or 3 receiver, maybe a top 1 receiver. Tom had the worst receiving core in all the National Football League.
What about your defense? How's your defense looking? How is your defense with Coach Belichick? How was it?
I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. I don't want you to change the subject off this because you can't defend this. So let's go back.
Okay.
He responded hugely greatly. It was an all-time great response from Aaron, thanks to them relighting his fire. They stuck him right in the tush and said, do it or don't. And he did it. And he was great in the regular season. And then what happened? Right on schedule, he gets yet another break in a playoff game. He's gotten a bunch of breaks in playoff games. He winds up getting to play against, to start the game, the backup quarterback for the Rams. And then they try to, they're forced because he gets hurt, and they have to throw Jared Goff back into the fire with a pin in the thumb of his throwing hand. And Aaron Donald, your favorite player in the league, the best defensive player in pro football, is trying to play with cracked ribs, and he is a ghost during that game. So was that not a break? And it set up Aaron's first home NFC Championship game. My dream come through at Lambeau Field against Tom Brady. And he stunk it up again. And he fell to 1-4 in championship games. And in those 5 games, he's 9 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. And I got to tell you, the one he won long ago, 10 years ago, was at Chicago, and he got to face Caleb Haney while Jay Cutler was riding the exercise bike with a sprained knee. Caleb Haney in the second half, and Aaron stunk in the second half. He ended up the game with 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and barely overcame Caleb Haney, or he would be 0-5 in championship games. This is the guy you're saying is holding Green Bay hostage. How? How has he backed it up in the playoffs?
Okay, Skip. All that. He's washed up. Let him go.
Okay,
why are you so hell-bent on holding on to him?
Well, this is the guy who's getting away with not saying a word. Why doesn't he hold a big press conference and own it and say, I want out, and he's Jerry Krause, and I can't stand him? He should go on record instead of ducking and dodging and hiding behind anonymous quotes and leaks.
But Skip,
just say it.
Skip,
do it. Own it.
You hold Aaron Rodgers to a standard, which other quarterbacks have done things behind the scenes, and you know, like you said, let's not get too far away from it. We know what transpired in New England. Tom never said anything publicly, but you expect Aaron Rodgers to. Why?
Because Tom was under attack from Bill Belichick, who was about to replace him.
Skip, they drafted Jordan Love to replace him. What's the difference?
Did you see Tom declining at that point? Because all he did after that was go to... What, in New England, he went to 3 more Super Bowls.
Coach Belichick thought he was declining. See, you keep talking about Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus don't pay checks but to their employees. Coach Belichick thought Tom Brady was declining. The Green Bay Packers thought Aaron Rodgers was declining. Okay, you made a move. You said, we want Jordan Love with the 26th pick. Aaron Rodgers going to have the MVP season, takes him to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
He says, okay, you have your guy now. Now I got the power back in my, let me go. What's the problem?
Well, has he said that? He's leaked it.
Whoa.
We got leaks going out. We got them from all sides. We got leaks once a day.
Let me ask you a question.
And trust me, Aaron and Brett Favre, they went to war for a long time, but now they're best buddies, right?
Yeah.
And you can't tell me that what Brett Favre said, was it yesterday?
Right.
I guess 2 days ago now. You can't tell me it didn't come from the horse's mouth.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think Brett was in a very similar situation. Because what did Brett it ended up getting messy. They ended up trading Brett. Brett had a very contentious relationship with the Packers at the end. They ended up, getting it resolved, and Brett was able to come back. They welcomed him back with open arms. But let's not pretend like the previous situation didn't end just as badly as this one seems to be ending. My only point is, Skip, is that you're holding Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady did not say, well, I went to Mr. Kraft and I told him he needed to have Coach Belichick train Jimmy G. That was leaked. Somebody got that out.
Okay, but that happened. That wasn't ahead of it. Wasn't like Tom was trying to talk his way out by leaking to various media outlets.
Why does Tom Brady?
He wasn't.
Tom Brady.
He wanted to stay.
So what?
He just wanted the job. That's all.
That's what Aaron wanted. He just wanted the job. He just wanted the job. He just didn't want y'all to go take his backup and make it seem. Skip, the guy went to the NFC Championship game at 13-3. Pro Football Focus can list all the stats you want. But what about the stat that's the most important stat? Better than QBR, better than any completion percentage or touchdowns. Win, losses. That's what's on the menu.
Okay.
Wins, losses.
And what has he done in NFC Championship games? Wins, losses. Give it to me.
Skip.
1 and 4.
Skip. He hasn't been great
Okay.
in the championship games. Okay, that's okay. With that being said, you should be more willing to get rid of it because he can't win the big game. Why are you holding on to him then?
Okay, but you can't hold Green Bay's feet to the fire and say, how dare you trying to replace him when it was screaming that he needed to be replaced.
Okay, well, let him go.
Okay.
He needs to be replaced. You just said it. He needed to be replaced.
Okay, can we see what happened in this last year's NFC Championship
we know
game?
what happened.
It's first and goal at the 8. How can you defend this? How can he be a sympathetic figure? Here's his first throw to Lazard. I don't know, he missed him by, 5
missed
yards.
the hot route.
I don't know what it was. He's throwing across his body to Devontae and airmails him by 5 yards, and this is third and goal. This is it. This is it. This is why they pay you all that money. You've got a super highway to the goal line, and at the last second, you choke and throw it back across your body to a Devontae who is doubled at the goal line and just absolutely covered.
Can I ask you a question? How well did Tom Brady play in the second half of that game?
Of which game?
Against Green Bay.
Okay.
What was his stats?
Did he play well enough to win the game?
So now all you basing on is wins and losses.
Okay, that's Aaron's house. My dream come true.
Skip. No. That's not what you did.
Okay.
You based it. Now, when Tom Brady, it's all about wins, losses. It's never about QBR.
Okay.
It's never about touchdowns.
Thank you for that. Tom Brady took his team on the road and won.
Tyler Heineke.
Huh?
Beat Tyler Heineke.
Yeah.
So you're proud about
beat
that?
Washington, beat Drew Brees at New Orleans.
Wow.
Beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau and beat Patrick Mahomes. The guy you say is my homeboy, who's the greatest thrower of the football ever. Maybe second only to Aaron Rodgers. He beat him back to back.
Can I ask you a question?
That's all he did.
Let me ask you a question.
You can't even start that argument.
You keep saying everybody gets a break. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, Bakhtiari, he loses Bakhtiari. He goes Drew Brees. Drew Brees was doing so well in that game. Guess what he did? He retired shortly thereafter. Patrick Mahomes, basically none of the offensive linemen that played last year will be on the field the following season. But that's okay. Skip, my only thing is with you is that what you use against Aaron Rodgers is about QBR and what Pro Football Focus says. What about wins and losses? He was 13-3 and went to the NFC Championship game, and you wanted to replace him. Okay, he didn't get it done again this year, but he went to the championship game 13-3, 48-4. You got your guy. Why are you so hell-bent on holding on to him? Just let him go.
All I care about is since that long ago Super Bowl, and he went 4-0 in that run as a wild card road team, right? And they escaped in Philadelphia in the first game. Do you remember that? It was against Michael Vick and the Philadelphia Eagles. And